Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you can see, today we are doing another tier list, and today we are doing another extremely special one to me. All these tier lists are extremely special to me, but this one might just be the most special, and I've said that about the Metal Gear Solid one, but this is the first or second video game I've ever played was Doom. And so I just decided, I've played every Doom, so I think it's time that we rank every single Doom game ever created. Now, if you've never seen a tier list on this channel, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiers on the list, ranging from S to F. And basically the games that I think are the best will go in S tier. The games that I think are the worst will go into F. There probably won't be any games like that though. And the games that I just think are in the middle will either go in B, C, or D. There's really no bad games in this entire series. So yeah, there might be like a few expansions. Those will probably go low. I can already see pretty much every single one on this list. And also, there will not be different versions of games on this list as well. So I will not be ranking the PS1 version of Doom. I will not be ranking the what do you call it? I will not be ranking, I think it's on the Atari Jaguar, I think. I won't be ranking those. I won't be ranking the pregnancy test version. I mean, you can play Doom on anything, basically. It's the most simple game ever. But yeah, we will simply be ranking them just the original game. And yeah, let's just go, man. I'm super excited to get into this one. Like I said, this is a very special series to me. This was probably either the first or second game I ever played, and I am super excited for this tier list, and I cannot wait any further. I'm just gonna hop right into it with Doom 2016. Okay, I really like Doom 2016. Alright, so Doom 2016, I originally did not like it that much. I really did not want to play it because I thought it would ruin the entire franchise, because I was a fan of the original Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64. Okay, I was not going to give Doom 2016 any sort of a chance because I thought it would absolutely be terrible, and I was not wanting to play an FPS Doom game, even though that's what the originals were. But then, let's just say something happened, a Markiplier playthrough happened, and all of a sudden I picked up the game and I couldn't put it down. Even though I suck at the boss fights, and I was stuck at this one boss fight forever. I can't remember what it was called. But even though I was stuck at it forever, I still absolutely love this game. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's supposed to be a complete remaster of the original Doom. That's why it's called Doom. And I think it does an amazing job, and I think it really just it reimagined the series and the franchise to a whole new level. Okay, first off, the music in Doom is the best. It has the best soundtrack of any video game ever, and I have said that about Fallout, Metal Gear. What else has an amazing soundtrack? A bunch of games have incredible soundtracks, but nothing will beat the heavy metal that is present throughout every game in this entire series. I love the appropriate metal riffs. I mean, like, it's great. I wouldn't play Doom to anything else other than heavy metal. The sound effects, they feel so crunchy, and the demon noises are spot on. And at least for me, the directional sound is great, and I love the voice acting, especially Samuel's voice. I mean, it's very, very well done. Better than Doom 3. The graphics are spot on. I mean, the PC version can run this game at 4K, 60 FPS, no problem, and that just really adds to the game a lot. The gameplay is amazing. It's fast, it's simple, but there's also a lot of unlocks, secrets, upgrades, lore, glory kill angles. I enjoy also the level design, the ability to grab ledges, and also the ability to finally jump in one of these games. And yes, I know Doom 3 exists, but I hate that game so much. I don't like that game. So I don't even want to mention Doom 3, but I have to talk about it later. But this game also gave you the ability to double jump, which already just sets it apart from the others. Overall, there's not much else I can say about the game. Obviously, it's Doom. You're gonna have fun either way, and I think it's a perfect way for this game series to just be completely revitalized, reimagined, and just be on a new generation of consoles and bring new people to the series. I think it does an amazing job. Now, obviously, I was singing the praises of this game. I don't think it's the best in the series, but it probably is like third or fourth. So I'm gonna put it in A. I think that's a pretty decent ranking for Doom 2016. Alright, well, here's a 2-for-1 special. Let's get Doom 1 up here as well. We're gonna talk about Doom 1 and Doom 2 at the same time because they're both S, and it's not even close. These are two of the best games of all time. Alright, Doom 1. Let's talk about this first. Doom 1 is one of the greatest games of all time. This game was made in 1 year, in 1993, by 7 people, I think. 6 or 7. It was made by a small group of people, not even double-digit amount of people. I mean, this is an incredible game. The level design, the gameplay, the weapons, the demons, the layout, the balance, the music. What more is there to say about Doom 1? The amount of memorable moments in this game as well, the humor added on by the development team as well is spot on as well. They just had an absolute blast making this game, and they put so many references to so much stuff, and they just had an absolutely amazing time just making it. Again, there's so much memorable stuff in this game. There was so much love and attention to detail poured into this game as well, and there's really just not much to say about it other than it is the best game. If you want to get into the Doom series, play Doom 1 and Doom 2. I haven't even talked about Doom 2 yet. Doom 2 is Doom 1, but my opinion, better, but not by much. I think Doom 1 and Doom 2 are pretty much the exact same. While I think Doom 2 has slightly worse levels, the level design is still incredible. It offered more demons, it offered more just features in the game. It offered the same amount of weapons, but it also offered more levels. It's a bigger game, and overall it's just, it's so amazing. I love these games so much, bro. I love them to death. It is so fun just playing these games, dude. I would not be the person I am today without playing either one of these games, and I grew up on the PS1 version, so I grew up on the one on the PS1 which had the sound effects from Doom 64, and also the PS1 version had Doom 1 and Doom 2 actually in the game together. It also added some master levels stuff. It also added Ultimate Doom in there as well, which I don't see Ultimate Doom actually on this. So actually it might be right here, but it added Ultimate Doom. It added master levels. It was the ultimate game, except I do have a bit of a sad thing to tell. Doom PS1 doesn't have the Archvile. What, man? Like, come on, bro. We're not here to talk about the PS1 version. I just said I won't talk about it. But Doom 1 and Doom 2 are two of the greatest games in the history of video games, and I will die on that hill. If you don't agree with me on Doom 2, you can agree with me on Doom 1, because it is single-handedly the game that started modern day FPS. It is the game that is the reason why there are so many FPS franchises out today. Halo, Call of Duty are two prime examples, and I will forever love these two games. These are probably two of, if not my most played games ever, and I still don't know all the secrets on these maps. So there you go. But anyways, I get so excited and I get so happy whenever I get to talk about these two masterpieces, and this is why I love id Software, because I don't just love Doom 1 and Doom 2, but I love Quake, I love Wolfenstein, I love Commander Keen. I mean, all those games are incredible, and overall, I love these two games forever. I will forever love these games, and they are absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, it is just so great just to play these games. And again, it is so memorable. There are so many memorable moments in these games. It is insane. So, before I start crying tears of joy just talking about these two games, I'm going to put both of them in S tier, as I'm spitting all over the place as I'm getting so excited just talking about them. So yeah, we're going to put them both up here in S tier. If you want the prime Doom experience, play Doom 1, Doom 2. You will never regret it, and you can never go wrong playing these two masterpieces. Alright, so next up is Doom 3. Now, I do not hate this game, but I'm more disappointed in this game than I should be, honestly. I think this game just has a weird reputation with me, honestly. So, I don't hate this game at all. I think it's actually incredible, and it really accomplished a lot for the franchise, like the fact that it moved it to the 3D modern era, which is the reason why we have masterpieces like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. And, Doom 3 is a very great game. I do have some gripes with it. I don't like how they just drastically changed the looks of a lot of the demons as well. And also, the game reminds me of Fallout 3 a lot. Like, it is insanely close or insanely similar to Fallout 3 in my opinion. I think it's just because the beginning sequence, because you're on a spaceship. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember the beginning of this game. I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but beginning of the game, you're on a spaceship, and it just seems like it's a Fallout atmosphere. I don't really know, but this game is just weird for me to play. I don't hate it though. I think it's actually very underrated. Actually, I don't think many people really give this game high enough praise than it should, if that makes sense. The game is a much slower pace, which I know I shouldn't like, but I actually like a lot because I think it really adds to the game, and it really makes you play out the levels a lot longer now. It also has narrower levels, and the lighting in this game is amazing, and I love just lighting in video games, especially because this game was made for the Xbox 360 in 2004. I think it's a very great just way to offer the original Doom experiences to the 3D world. And it basically has the same elements as a normal Doom game. You still carry around an absolute plethora of weapons. You still have a ton of enemies to kill, and honestly, the gameplay loop is pretty much the same. This game also reminds me of Dead Space a lot. But it also, Dead Space is the superior game. But, at the same time, I think it also highlights the legacy of the third game in the Doom saga. I just think, it's not as bad as a game as I initially thought it would be whenever I first played it, but it's not my main choice whenever I come back to this series. In fact, I kind of forget it from time to time that it even exists. I just see Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 2016. But I still think it's an amazing game, and I still think it did a lot for the series. And again, it's the reason why we have games like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Alright, we have Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil next, and Resurrection of Evil is kind of a weird one. It's an expansion pack for Doom 3. It was released a year, I'm pretty sure, after Doom 3, and the story is an epilogue of the main game, and um, it's a much shorter game. It lasts like 2 hours, and it's good actually. I'm glad it's short because it ends before it overstays its welcome. But it also still manages to fit several new weapons and enemies to spice up the gameplay, which I really like as well, and I think we need to see more of that in DLCs nowadays. One thing I just found weird about it was just you had an artifact in the game that you could upgrade throughout the gameplay while you were playing the whole expansion, and it gave you super speed and invulnerability, and you upgraded it so it gave you more of that while you played. That was just kind of a weird feature to me. I'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum, but you have a gravity gun and a double-barreled shotgun, and which, I mean, a gravity gun, okay, and you start escaping from these ruins of a Martian civilization or something that we didn't actually see at the end of the game, or we barely saw any of it. And it actually is way more interesting than the constant industrial backgrounds that made up pretty much the entirety of Doom 3. And you try to make your way to the main complex. The new enemies are basically just reskins of the old ones, but among the new additions, there are 3 new boss fights, and they all have their own gimmicks. But to top it all off, this actually has a real final boss that you actually have to fight one-on-one instead of running around killing imps to charge a soul cube. And while the gameplay is very much Doom 3 at its core, the ambushes are actually not that frequent, and when they happen, the slow motion of the artifact is actually incredibly useful, which is one of the only reasons why I actually like using it. And yeah, overall, I think the Resurrection of Evil it's not bad, but I enjoy it a lot more, honestly, than some parts of the Doom 3 campaign, actually. I think it's a lot more enjoyable. And, yeah, even if, you're not a fan of Doom 3, I still recommend playing Resurrection of Evil. And, specifically, if you weren't a fan of Doom 3. But, yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's a weird one to rank, because it's kind of a mini game in its own. But I'll put it in C tier for right now. Wow, okay, moving on to Doom 64. And I just want to say, this game took me a while to get into because I did not like how it looked. I thought it looked weird. But now I can safely say it's probably my 3rd favorite in the entire franchise. I will forever love Doom 1 and Doom 2. But Doom 64 is those 2 original games on steroids. First off, the level design is way better than Doom 1 and Doom 2. And that's saying a lot because Doom 1 and Doom 2 have the best level design I've ever seen in a video game ever. It also has way better graphics and way better sound. I love the sound in this game. And, it kind of sucks to not have, the old school, hard heavy metal rock just playing all the time as you just blast demons' faces in. But I really like it, and they took the sounds of this game, they put it in Doom PS1, which I absolutely adore. I love the sounds the demons make, and I love the just like droning noise that always plays in the background as well. And the theme song of this game is amazing, easily my favorite in the entire series. If you've played any of the new Doom versions, you will notice that they have borrowed more elements from 64 than the other games. And again, this level design cannot be talked about enough. You can run and gun, but that leads to running in circles, and then, you can possibly trigger a trap that releases hordes of enemies, or a room that becomes a trap itself as the ceiling comes down. And, I mean, Doom 64 forces you to think about your actions, or you could just die. And it never slows the pace down, and it always adds tension because of that friggin' banger music, man. My opinion, Doom 64 is one of the best N64 games of all time. I mean, it's right up there with Mario 64, the Zeldas, Paper Mario, and I mean, this game has a loyal fan base as well within the Doom community as well. I mean, you can still run and blast through enemies, but getting out of each level and finding secrets actually requires actual thinking. I mean, you can just run in guns blazing all the time, but you need to be careful that you don't accidentally activate some other things that could send demons just pouring in trying to kill you. Doom 64 is amazing, and I would never in my life imagine that Doom 64 would be just as good as the original 2 games, which is why Doom 64 is going up in S tier. Alright, now I believe this next one is the master levels for Doom 2. Let me just look at the box art real quick. Yep, I wasn't wrong. Okay, so the master levels for Doom 2. I've played these quite a few times, and yeah, they're alright, I guess. I mean, they've never been my highest priority to play. They're not my, like, #1 go-to thing to play every single time I want to play Doom. Because, I mean, overall, they're just a level select pack instead of actually a proper campaign. But yeah, I mean, they're fine, though. There's some decent levels. I mean, there's some boring ones as well. And then there's Express Elevator to Hell, which I get really angry at. I mean, yeah, there's not really too much for me to say about these. Overall, they're just kind of a mixed bag, and they just make me wonder why these levels were the ones that were questioned to be, you know, commercially sold. I'm pretty sure these ones were added into Doom PS1, though. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just an okay expansion. Some of the levels can actually be really easy with like zero opposition at all, even if you're playing on the hardest difficulty. And some levels are just absolutely unbearable to play, and they make me so mad to play them. So, other than that, I'm just gonna put these probably in like C. They're okay, I guess. Alright, moving on to the Plutonia Experiment, which this is a fan-made experience, but I still really like it. I had not played it before I made this video until like right before I made this video. I basically played it in advance for this video just to get a feel for it. You know, I like it. I think it's really good. I think it's really fun and creative, but it's also really, really hard. Like, there's an arch vial on the first level. I mean, there's some very clever uses of mechanics. Like, it has a room with an escape route that is just a ridiculously tall elevator, so even after you call it, you have to avoid getting killed for 5 long seconds. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about it. I just thought it was decent. You know, I think it's pretty okay. I mean, I only have a few complaints about it. The difficulty curve is just weird. The first few levels are some of the hardest. They put you in close quarters with chain gunners, barons, hell knights, revenants, archviles, and other levels are hard, but they give you more room to maneuver and escape if necessary. And level 11, Hunted, is a gimmick challenge. You're in a maze with shotgun ammo and archviles. That's it. Anyways, if you've been through Doom 1 and Doom 2 and you're not sure about Final Doom, give this a try. I mean, you'll see how you feel about it. But I don't really have too much else to say about it. It's decent though, so I'll put it in D. I like it, but it's not my go-to really at all. All right, second to last is TNT Evolution. It's not Evolution, it's Evolution. I played through this one recently as well, and I mean, it's pretty average. The first 15 levels or so are I mean, I like them, but then once you get from the mill onwards, the map design just becomes really unstructured, and it's extremely hard to find the exit on some maps. The game just feels rushed to me, and some of the tricks the map designers used, I feel, are actually impossible to figure out without a walkthrough. Like, I will admit, I used a walkthrough a few times while I was playing. There was also just a lot of poor texture work, and the roughness in the later levels also stand out really badly, and they looked really, like, amateurish compared to Doom 1 and Doom 2. Also, map 30 is easily the worst map in the entire game, and I can't believe they included that trial and error puzzle at the start. For the final level of a game to have that just section of a game be so tedious and boring is crazy to me. I mean, the only other map of note I really have to say or really have to talk about is map 31, and it looked really impressive and it had a great atmosphere, and I mean the music was incredible, and it also had frozen monsters inside of a pyramid. But yeah, I don't know, it just felt pretty rushed, and it just felt kind of bad to me after you just got past a certain point of the game, and you could just tell that they wanted the game to be over with pretty quickly as well. Yeah, other than that, it's not really that too noteworthy of a game. I'm gonna put it in D to be nice. Alright, let's kick off the end of this tier list with Doom Eternal. Woo! Let's start off by saying this is a fantastic and brutal FPS. Oh man, the game is so fluid, the controls make it easy to bounce around the battlefield. It's easy to change between weapons, use equipment, chain attacks. The bosses are challenging, the secrets are fun to find, Slayer gates provide a unique challenge. I mean, it gives you so much reward as well. Oh man, the only downside is how intense it can be. It's a game I enjoyed playing for hours, taking a break, coming back hours later, and, you know, just opposed to grinding it all in one take. As for the story, holy moly. The amount of lore hidden throughout the world just brought you into the world of the Slayer. I know some people dislike the use of cutscenes in this game, but honestly, I feel like they added, and they added to this game a lot. They also helped, keep with the action, and they also just, helped tell the story and just go with the flow of the game, because you didn't want to keep reading your codex throughout the entire course of the game. The Fortress of Doom also made the character feel way more real than I was expecting, bro. I know, I've played all of these games on this list, but wow, they went hard in Doom Eternal, bro. Oh my gosh, the aesthetic in this game as well. It's beautiful, but it's brutal, but it's also fun all around. Being able to see the damage you've done to the demons and adding a pseudo health bar as well is really cool. The environments are massive and they were well thought out and programmed, and I loved looking at this game, just taking in the environment, because usually in Doom games you're just wandering around shooting the heads off of zombies and stuff, but in this game I just got to look around and just admire the atmosphere of this game. The fact that you can have a game that goes beyond Doom 2016, which is pretty much a masterpiece, is mind-boggling. I mean, this game improves over Doom 2016 in every way. The gameplay itself is much harder, and it requires much more resource management, but also, due to this, the game is more rewarding, which is what Doom 2016 needed. The gunplay was way better than Doom 2016, and I enjoyed the platforming a lot too, even though there were some parts of the game where it just got too repetitive. However, once you mastered the way that the game was able to be played, you could just have an absolute blast. The story was also incredibly intriguing as well, and the lore was just very well established, and I know I already talked about it, but yeah, it was just really well done, even if the end just felt a little rushed. This game just answered all of our questions in a really satisfying way. And oh my god, the music in this game makes me want... The game just also feels more fleshed out and just complete as well with the collectibles it gives you. All in all, this game just makes you feel good, bro. And, you know, the level designing is amazing, and every level has their distinct specialty. The game's length also adjusted with the gameplay, and never one time did it feel repetitive or boring. And, you know, I was thinking about where I was going to put Doom Eternal before this list, because I knew I was going to have a tough time figuring out where I wanted to put it. But I think Doom Eternal will be in second place on my Doom list. I think it'll be in between Doom 1 and Doom 2 on my Doom list. So there we go. There is my Doom series tier list. This was an extremely special tier list to me. I love Doom to the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I absolutely love it. And I would never have another game series that would introduce me to the world of video games. I would never want another video game series to introduce me to it. Even though I was like 5 years old playing a game with fucking pentagrams and swastikas in it, I don't care. Doom is easily the greatest thing to ever happen in my life, and I am so happy playing and talking about every single game in this entire series. I just want to say real quick, thank you to everybody on the original id Software team in the early 90s for creating Doom. John Romero, John Carmack, Sandy Peterson, Bobby Prince, every single one of you guys, Dave Taylor, I mean every single one of you guys are absolute legends, and you've made my life as a video game player, I don't like using the word gamer, as a video game player, you guys have made my life absolutely amazing, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I fanboyed the entire time, but I truly just cannot thank this series enough for introducing me to the realm of video games, and it really makes me just look at games and love them to death. This game is the reason why I will play video games until the day I die, and I just cannot thank the entire id Software team enough for creating such an amazing franchise of games. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please smash the like button on this video. And thank you guys so much for the support on the channel recently. 330 subscribers is something I never thought I'd ever surpass, and I just cannot thank you guys enough. And soon, hopefully, I'll start making gaming videos and just having a great time making videos. But until then, expect maybe a lot more tier lists and just the same amount of content I've been posting. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.